Hello friends, and welcome to my channel. Today, I am with you again with spooky stories. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you, and have a good time. The Victoria Hotel had been a fixture in the heart of the city for as long as anyone could remember. However, in recent times, it had gained notoriety due to a string of bizarre incidents. Stories of disappearing belongings, strange noises, and even mysterious vanishings among guests were whispered throughout the town. Nevertheless, a group of friends chose to disregard these eerie tales. The group consisted of Lisa, Mike, Sarah, and Chris. They had come to the city for a holiday, and due to its convenient location and reasonable rates, they had chosen the Victoria Hotel as their accommodation. However, from the moment they checked in, an eerie atmosphere enveloped them. The lobby of the hotel was adorned with antique furniture and heavy, dark curtains that seemed to suggest that time had come to a standstill inside. Lisa's immediate concern was the massive mirror at the entrance. She claimed that every morning, her reflection appeared tired and pale, as if someone or something had been watching her throughout the night. Once they settled into their room, the strange occurrences intensified. The television changed channels on its own, the faucet water ran without being touched, and mysterious shadows seemed to dart across the room. What started as jesting among friends soon turned into genuine unease. Sarah stumbled upon a peculiar diary specific to the hotel. The diary chronicled the hotel's history, particularly a tragic fire that occurred in the 1940s. Although the hotel had been rebuilt after the fire, the diary's pages hinted at the idea that the fire's horrors still lingered within the hotel. One night, Sarah and Chris decided to investigate the strange noises emanating from the hallways. As they ventured into the corridor, they encountered mysterious shadows and felt as if they were being watched. Fearfully, they stopped in front of a door on one of the floors. The door suddenly swung open, and they entered the room. The room was eerily dark, with furniture appearing to shift about. A chair slowly levitated off the ground and was flung against the wall. Panic surged through Sarah and Chris. Their fellow friends, alerted by the strange happenings, came to their aid. They tried to force open the door from the hallway, but it remained stubbornly locked. Inside the room, furniture continued to move rapidly, and eerie whispers seemed to emanate from the walls. Hours passed, but the door would not budge. The group was trapped in the dark room. They watched in horror as furniture moved around them, and they could hear the whispers growing more insistent. Eventually, as the morning sun began to creep into the room, the door opened unexpectedly. They stepped out, their faces pale with exhaustion. They would never forget the chilling experience they had endured within the walls of the Victoria Hotel. In the days that followed, they couldn't shake the feeling that the hotel's tragic past had left lingering spirits who had targeted them in some inexplicable way. The eerie legacy of the Victoria Hotel served as a haunting reminder that some places carried a darkness that transcended time. The group emerged from the room in disarray, their nerves frayed and their faces etched with exhaustion. The events of that night had left a haunting impression on each of them, and the bonds of camaraderie that once held them together now felt fragile and frayed. As they regrouped in their respective rooms, they couldn't help but replay the terrifying encounter in their minds. The shifting furniture, the disembodied whispers, and the feeling of being watched had left a lasting mark on their psyches. Over the next few days, they debated whether to stay or check out and find new accommodations. Lisa, who had initially been the most skeptical of the group, now found herself unnerved by the hotel's eerie atmosphere. She had been the one who discovered the unsettling diary, and its cryptic references to the past continued to haunt her. Despite their fears, curiosity got the best of them. They decided to delve deeper into the hotel's history to uncover the truth behind the paranormal occurrences. They began by speaking with the hotel staff, who had worked there for years and had heard countless stories of strange happenings. One elderly employee, Mr. Jennings, agreed to share some of the hotel's darkest secrets. He explained that the Victoria Hotel had indeed suffered a tragic fire in the 1940s, during which several guests and staff had perished. The hotel had been rebuilt, but according to local legend, the spirits of those who had lost their lives still roamed its halls, seeking closure. The group's quest for answers led them to the city archives, where they discovered newspaper clippings from the time of the fire. They learned that the blaze had been particularly devastating, with many lives lost and heroic efforts made by both guests and staff to save others. As they delved deeper into their research, they uncovered a peculiar detail. a series of mysterious disappearances that had occurred in the years following the fire. Guests who had checked into the Victoria Hotel had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only their personal belongings. Armed with this information, the group realized that they needed to confront the restless spirits that seemed to inhabit the hotel. They sought the help of a local medium, Eleanor, who was renowned for her ability to communicate with the supernatural. Elmsworth Manor, a grand old hotel nestled on the outskirts of a sleepy town, had long been a subject of fascination for locals. Its ivy-covered walls and imposing Victorian architecture had made it an iconic landmark. However, beneath its elegant facade, the hotel harbored a chilling secret that had plagued it for generations. A group of 4 friends, Rachel, John, Emily, and David, were drawn to Elmsworth Manor's dark history and decided to spend a weekend exploring its ominous corridors. They had heard whispers of unexplained disappearances, strange apparitions, and eerie noises that had made the hotel notorious among the townsfolk. The moment they set foot in the lobby, an unsettling feeling washed over them. The air felt heavy, and the antique chandeliers cast eerie shadows on the marbled floors. The hotel staff greeted them with strange smiles, as if they knew more than they were willing to reveal. Their rooms, though lavishly furnished, carried an undeniable aura of foreboding. The 4 friends, each harboring a sense of trepidation, tried to put on a brave face as they unpacked their belongings. Their exploration of the hotel began innocently enough. They wandered through the opulent hallways, admiring the intricate artwork and elaborate tapestries that adorned the walls. However, as they ventured deeper into the building, they encountered locked doors and neglected wings that seemed to have been forgotten by time. As night descended, they gathered in the grand dining hall for dinner. The room was dimly lit, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie dancing shadows on the walls. An unsettling hush fell over the room as they dined, and the hotel's history of strange occurrences loomed in their minds. After dinner, they decided to investigate further. Armed with flashlights, they ventured into the abandoned wing of the hotel. The air grew colder, and their breath hung in front of them like ghostly apparitions. Emily, the most sensitive to the supernatural, felt a sudden drop in temperature. She pointed her flashlight towards a dusty mirror, and to their horror, the reflection that stared back at them was distorted and ghastly. It seemed as though the very essence of the hotel was distorting reality itself. As they delved deeper into the abandoned wing, they discovered a hidden chamber beneath the hotel's foundation. The room was filled with arcane symbols and eerie paintings that seemed to depict scenes from a nightmare. In the center of the room, a circle of candles flickered to life, casting an eerie glow on the walls. Their flashlights flickered and died one by one, plunging them into total darkness. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone in the chamber. Whispers, like the anguished cries of the forgotten, echoed around them, and ghostly figures began to materialize. The spirits of the past, long trapped within the hotel's malevolent embrace, reached out to them with bony, translucent fingers. Their hollow eyes bore into the souls of the living, and their mournful moans filled the chamber. In the pitch-black darkness, the 4 friends clung to one another, their hearts pounding in terror. They could feel the spectral hands of the trapped souls brushing against their skin, cold as death itself. Just as it seemed they would be consumed by the vengeful spirits, a blinding flash of light filled the chamber. A voice, ancient and commanding, spoke words of exorcism, banishing the malevolent forces that had plagued Elmsworth Manor for centuries. The darkness lifted, and the spirits dissipated into the ether, their tormented souls finally finding peace. Rachel, John, Emily, and David were left shaken but alive, their lives forever altered by their harrowing encounter. As dawn broke, they left the accursed hotel behind, determined to spread the tale of Elmsworth Manor's haunted history. The grand old building, once a place of dread, was now free from the malevolent forces that had bound it for generations. And so, the legend of Elmsworth Manor continued to be whispered among the town's residents, a chilling reminder that some secrets should remain buried, and that the boundaries between the living and the dead are not to be trifled with. After their terrifying encounter in Elmsworth Manor, Rachel, John, Emily, and David couldn't shake the feeling that they had disturbed something ancient and malevolent within the hotel. Their sleepless nights were haunted by nightmares, and the memories of the spectral figures reaching out to them in the darkness remained vivid in their minds. determined to uncover the truth behind the hotel's curse and to bring closure to the restless spirits they had encountered. The group embarked on an extensive investigation. They delved into the town's archives, seeking any historical records or documents that might shed light on the origins of the malevolent force within Elmsworth Manor. Their research led them to a century-old diary kept by the hotel's original owner, Reginald Elmsworth. The diary revealed a dark secret. Reginald had been obsessed with the occult and had performed a forbidden ritual within the hotel's hidden chamber. The ritual was intended to grant him eternal life, but had instead bound the souls of those who perished in the hotel to its walls, creating a curse that endured for generations. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Rachel, John, Emily, and David were determined to break the curse and release the trapped souls once and for all. They sought the guidance of a renowned paranormal investigator, Professor Samuel Thornton, who had dealt with similar cases in the past. Professor Thornton explained that to break the curse, they would need to find a way to reverse the ancient ritual. This involved locating an ancient grimoire known as the Codex of Souls, which contained the instructions for undoing the malevolent magic that bound the spirits. Their quest for the Codex of Souls took them on a perilous journey to a distant monastery hidden deep within the mountains. There, they discovered the ancient manuscript, but also uncovered the monastery's own dark secrets. Monks who had long been guardians of the Codex, and who had paid a heavy price in their eternal battle against the forces of darkness. Armed with the knowledge they had acquired and the Codex of Souls in their possession, they returned to Elmsworth Manor, determined to confront the malevolent force that had plagued the hotel for generations. In the hidden chamber beneath the hotel, they followed the instructions from the Codex, conducting a counter-ritual to undo the curse. The air grew heavy, and the chamber trembled as they chanted the incantations. The vengeful spirits, aware of their intentions, lashed out in a final attempt to protect the dark magic that bound them. But the determination and courage of Rachel, John, Emily, and David prevailed. The malevolent force was slowly drawn back into the shadows, and one by one, the spirits found release from their eternal torment. As the last soul ascended to the afterlife, a profound stillness descended upon Elmsworth Manor. The hotel, once a place of dread and despair, was finally free from the curse that had plagued it for centuries. Rachel, John, Emily, and David had not only uncovered the truth, but had also brought redemption to the souls trapped within its walls. Their harrowing journey had come to an end, and as they left the grand old hotel behind, they couldn't help but feel a sense of peace. Elmsworth Manor, once shrouded in darkness, now stood as a testament to the power of determination, knowledge, and courage to overcome even the most malevolent of forces. And so, the legend of Elmsworth Manor transformed from a tale of horror into a story of redemption and salvation, reminding all who heard it that even the darkest curses could be broken when faced with unwavering determination and the strength of the human spirit. Ravenwood Hotel, an imposing Victorian-era establishment, stood tall and imposing on the outskirts of the quiet town of Hollowbrook. Its history was rich, but beneath its elegant exterior lurked a darkness that had plagued it for centuries. A group of 5 friends, Alex, Laura, Mark, Sarah, and Tom, had decided to spend a weekend away from their busy lives and chose Ravenwood Hotel as their destination. The hotel's grandeur and reputation for being a place of elegance and charm had drawn them in. Little did they know that their stay would turn into a nightmare beyond their wildest imagination. Upon arrival, they were greeted by the hotel's owner, a stoic and enigmatic woman named Eliza. She welcomed them warmly but with a hint of reservation in her eyes, as if she carried a burden that she was reluctant to share. Their rooms were luxurious, adorned with antique furniture and heavy drapes that seemed to soak up the daylight. As night descended, the friends gathered in the hotel's elegant dining room for a lavish dinner. The atmosphere was impeccable, but an unsettling sensation lingered in the air. After dinner, they decided to explore the hotel's expansive corridors, hoping to uncover some of its historical secrets. As they ventured deeper into the building, they noticed that some hallways seemed to stretch endlessly, as if defying the laws of physics. Disorienting and unnerving, they pressed on. In one forgotten corner of the hotel, they stumbled upon an old portrait gallery. The paintings depicted a lineage of hotel owners, each with a chilling, hollow gaze. Laura, the most perceptive of the group, noticed that the eyes of the portraits seemed to follow their every move, a sensation that sent shivers down her spine. As the night grew darker, they retired to their rooms, but sleep eluded them. Strange sounds echoed through the hallways, a mournful wailing, disembodied footsteps, and the soft, eerie melody of a piano that seemed to play itself. The group decided to investigate the source of the haunting sounds. They followed the ghostly music to the hotel's abandoned ballroom, where an ornate grand piano stood alone. The keys moved as if played by invisible hands, and the haunting melody filled the air. Suddenly the room grew frigid, and a shadowy figure materialized before them. It was a woman dressed in a tattered wedding gown, her face veiled in darkness. She extended a spectral hand, her fingers icy to the touch, and beckoned them closer. Terrified, the group retreated, but the ghostly woman's presence continued to haunt their every step. They soon discovered a hidden chamber beneath the hotel, filled with arcane symbols and flickering candles. It was here that they uncovered the hotel's sinister history. Ravenwood Hotel had once been a gathering place for a secret society that dabbled in the occult. They had conducted dark rituals to gain power and immortality, but their actions had unleashed malevolent forces that still tormented the hotel. The group realized that they needed to confront the malevolent entity that plagued Ravenwood Hotel. Armed with knowledge and determination, they performed a daring ritual to banish the malevolent presence once and for all. As they chanted incantations, the air grew heavy, and the room seemed to tremble. The ghostly woman appeared, her visage contorted with rage. But the friends stood their ground, their collective willpower stronger than the malevolent force that had held the hotel captive. With a blinding burst of light, the malevolent entity was banished, and Ravenwood Hotel was freed from its curse. The grand old building, once shrouded in darkness, now stood as a place of peace and tranquility. As they left the hotel behind, the friends knew that they had confronted a horror beyond imagination and emerged victorious. Ravenwood Hotel, once a place of malevolence, had been cleansed, and its dark secrets could now rest in peace. But they would carry the memories of their harrowing encounter with them for the rest of their lives, a reminder that even the most elegant and charming exteriors could hide the most sinister of horrors. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching my video until the end. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to support me and see more of my content. Take care of yourself. See ya.